Hello, friends. Welcome back to Live Your Dreams, the space where we dive deep into real conversations that inspire healing, self awareness, and growth. Today, we are exposing a topic that affects so many of us: body shaming. It's something that can silently shape how we see ourselves and even influence our mental well being. My name is Vartika Gupta, and in this episode, we are going beyond the surface level, taking a research oriented look at body shaming, its psychological roots, and the therapeutic measures that can help us reclaim a healthy relationship with our bodies. I'm truly honored to have with me Dr. Nidhi Roy Chaudhary, a counseling psychologist with extensive experience in body image issues and emotional well being. She has helped countless individuals heal from self criticism and rediscover self worth from within. Welcome to Live Your Dreams, Dr. Nidhi. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you so much, Vartika. It's always lovely to join you here on such special conversations where we usually, bring such topics where people hesitate a lot and still having so many issues under the layers. And if we are able to just, bring those issues and those problems, those uncomfortable edges on the surface, and I'm sure it will gonna help a lot of people. Thank you so
Thank you
much for
so much.
having.
Thank you, ma'am. And from a psychological and research perspective, how does body shaming affect mental health and self esteem?
Okay. So I'm sure that our viewers have already a brief understanding that what body shaming is and how it is related to individuals' worth, self-worth, and in overall performance as well. So let's start with the what really happens when psychologically individual experiences body shaming. This is our basic understanding, right? So body shaming basically does what? It triggers brain's threat responses. And we are aware now, I'm sure that most of us are aware, when our body is having a threat response, uh, we having a tendency either fight or flight. Or these days we also are having one more area which we discuss a lot, that is freezing response. So either fight, flight, or freezing response. In those areas, brain behave in a certain manner. So let's take an example of social rejection. When you talk about body shaming, it's what? Basically, you are trying to tell that individual, ki, okay, your appearance, your shape, your size, your color, and your overall picture, or somehow or the other, you are not suitable in this social group. This is the base
Yes.
and the initial understanding of the social rejection, right? So
You don't
research is
belong. You don't belong to this space.
exactly. So researches, which there are extensive researches has been done on this beautiful topic. It shows that it increases the cortisol level, which further fuels chronic stress. And I'm sure now our viewers as well as all of us, some of us might not be able to having this understanding, but the cortisol is a stress hormone. This is something which is a basic release once your body feels that it is under some sort of stress. So it shows increase the level of cortisols, which further fuels the chronic stress. And further, it directly proportional to lowering of the this self-esteem because of the social rejection. Whatever community you are, we are talking about in this area. So
Hmm.
people begin to internalize these criticisms slowly as they are growing up, if it is happening from the childhood, or not in the childhood, maybe during the teenage, maybe during when they are going out, when they start going to college, or maybe early days of their working areas, from one city to other city, one country to another country, like that. So they start internalizing these criticism and thinking that there is something wrong with their own body, their own shape, their own appearances somehow, which can spiral into self hate. if you see the big picture, right? So
True.
I'll highlight one example here. If someone is teased about their weight in school, whether they are, obese, or they are a little bit thin, right, or too thin. So in that particular scenario, if it is happening during the school days, so later on they will grow into an adult who avoids beseeches, or sorry, who avoid this going to, or exposing their bodies to the areas like beaches and mirrors, clicking the pictures and going into the areas where they have to make a public appearance or go into the social gathering and so on. But it is not happening because something is wrong with them. It is happening because the shame has become a narrative for them, that they are not sufficient enough, they are not right for this particular area and so on, and they are now started generalizing to the other areas of their life,
So
right?
basically, it is like continuously going through that pattern. It makes them hate themselves and their bodies, right?
Yeah, slowly.
Themselves basically, yeah, slowly by slowly. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. And
gradually they start internalizing this kind of dialogue, which is happening, later on. Other people were telling them, but now they started using those voices inside their head, and self blame, self criticism, self hatred starts. And once it's there, once it's setting its narrative, so now in every area and every spaces of their life, they started, applying it.
I'm sure that many of the times, Nidhi, people don't realize that they are being, or they are doing unconsciously body shaming. So, what are some of the subtle or normalized form of body shaming that people might not even recognize in daily life?
Exactly. So again, I would like to highlight this particular point. It is not always the harsh insult which we are talking about here. We are talking about subtle hints, which you are also asking in this question. So in this area, we often imagine body shaming as harsh insults. No, it is not like that. But everyday's lifestyle communication, lifestyle behaviors, day to day interaction, which we are involved into various areas and aspects of our life, whether it is school, whether it is home, whether it is relatives, you are visiting around, and either you are working somewhere or, anywhere. One thing is very common, I'm sure every one of us have heard this statement and phrase: have you gained weight?
Yeah.
Generally, after meeting some time, after meeting a while, and interacting with somebody after a long time, or after a break or something, have you gained weight, or you looked thinner than the last time? If the individual was like a little bit bulky and now he or she is trying to reduce, for him, thinner last time was like, looking thinner than the last time is a compliment. But if that individual is already lean, for him or her, it is not a compliment there.
So basically,
Another.
yeah, basically, if we are meeting and greeting someone, so these can be unconscious triggers to
Exactly. So
somebody
i'll i'll
who is
i'll highlight
already
few
having yeah, inner
yeah
channelizing or same. Okay.
I'll highlight few more of them, these kind of phrases which we unconsciously using these days, like constantly complimenting the individual's weight loss, right, as it is like thinness, or lean body is an achievement. Having a balanced weight is needed, I'm not denying that particular fact, but the point is it the ultimate goal for this individual? Is his or her lifestyle or her health is also permitting it, right? Another point is jokes like I'm being bad, like what do we say, I'm feeling bad today because I ate the dessert of my liking, or I was feeling like guilty pleasure. Now we start using the term guilty pleasure with eating sweets or our favorite dessert, if you want to. Parents telling children don't eat don't eat that, or otherwise you are going to turn into fat or obese or something like that. Commenting on somebody's skin tone, that is also the part of body shaming. It is not only this thing, and I'm sure skin tone is such a um, you know evident thing which we cannot avoid when we are in a conversation. People are so much what do we say, so much sentimental sometimes with their own skin tone, if they doesn't belong to a specific skin tone in these areas, especially in offices and so on. So skin tone is also one more thing. Height, right? Tingu,
Yes.
chashmish, this kind of words, double battery, and hair textures, etc. And as if like these things can be changed. If we move towards away from the weight part, because I'm not saying that health wise we should not be little bit more fit. I'm not denying this particular fact. This is something which we all need to work upon. But can we also change our skin tone? Can we change our height? Can we change our hair color? Can we change the texture of the hair color, like curly hairs or straight hairs? Can we do that? No, right? So just because of these parts of the body, and that they are in a specific way by birth, you having it, or by some sort of maybe some sort of accident, some sort of thing happened to you, and you are not having your earlier the quality of your body or skin tone maybe. So but the point is, it is not something which can be the parameter how the individual is going to treat me, right? If I'm looking a certain way today, then you are very good to me. But if my skin tone changes, if my height was not this kind of thing, right? So your behavior towards me is a little bit indifferent. So you are just ignoring me on the other day. So right now as adult, maybe this is not something which is very much impactful today for us, right? Or affecting that much today. But at the growing period of our life, like during the childhood, during teenage, during young adulthood, these are the building blocks of our life, right? We are setting up our own personality and understanding what we are not, how should we treat it, and how should we treat it, how should we allow somebody to treat ourselves or not. So upon those areas, the self esteem, basically it is the areas upon which self esteem having the uh, it builds upon it. So if the foundation is not right, if the foundation is having certain cracks, so how can the building will be right? Make sense?
I think
And
I think
later,
this is how we build layers. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. This
exactly,
is how we build layers around
exactly.
our self image.
That is what I was trying to say, that when once the foundation is being cracked, the building is also showing certain damages. And once these kind of statements comes passing by, always coming to your ears and everything, these acts as trigger. This is what we were talking about as triggers. And if these are constant again, so it may impact the whole way how we are responding around. So the whole personality will take the toll of it.
Very true, actually. And I'm sure, Nidhi, and I have one belief around the same subject, that this body image, the issues which we cope up with, and when we get to have a better understanding that we are going through some issues, they are not formed just overnight. I think they are formed long way before. So, if I ask you in that perspective, how early in life do body image issues start forming? And what role do family, media, peers play in in shaping them?
So we have a lot of, this is a very vast question which you just asked. So I will try to summarize it by saying that once the child understand कि he is having his own independent identity. So you can see that earlier this particular setup or this particular understanding starts originating by the age of 5 or 6. These days it is happening a little early. So by the age of 4, you can say 4, 5, or 6, kids starts understanding ki they are a little different from others. They are independent, well, matlab, independent being whom other people refers to. How they are talking to them, how they are interacting with this child, the same way child starts mimicking it, right?
Hmm.
So that is why we say no ki children's basically try to copy you. You can see that small small babies also try to copy the family members, how they are
Yes.
interacting. Either they're shouting, they are smiling, they are moving around in a house and everything. They start mimicking their grandparents, they start mimicking their parents, etc. So so you can take the baseline of like 4, 5, or 6 year old. Researchers basically shows that the children's being noticing their own body, their own weight, their own skin color, how it is same or different from others, as well as the shapes differences during the preschool, because now this is the age when they start interacting with the other age group people, no? You basically send them to nursery or play school, and they start having their formal education. So now they have a large group where they can compare and see themselves. Ki, they are a little bit different from others, right? So this is how
And
the understanding starts. Now you talked about the role of the family, peers, and media. So family is instrumental in this whole scenario. Kids basically they learn from the parents how they talk about their own bodies. It is not something you are talking about, the child only. You are talking about your own body also. Are you okay with your own shape, your own appearance, your own texture, your own, skin tone, everything? Are you okay with it? Or you are repeating certain similar, certain self-defeating statements like, I'm looking so fat today, I'm looking so bloated, my hairs are not very good, I'm so black, I'm so tanned, right? Or you are trying to be a little bit more bright, you are trying to use those brightening creams, etc., so that your skin tone becomes a little bit more lighter and all. And you are always repeating that I need to slim down or I need to gain weight, I'm not looking good, right? Because of those things. And then
I think
comes to,
I think
yeah,
Nidhi this is very scary part. I would just like to, being a mother, I would just like to say that it's such a scary part. You don't understand that what impact it might leave on the child brain itself and how they are perceiving things. Right? It is such an early age, 4 to 5 years of age. It's such an early age. आई थिंक आई डोंट इवन रिमेम्बर, मुझे याद भी नहीं है कि 10 साल की उम्र तक मुझे कुछ इस एरिया के बारे में पता भी था. एंड 4 to 5 years बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सपोजर टू मीडिया एंड लॉट ऑफ अदर फैक्टर्स बच्चे उसी समय अपनी एक इमेज बना लेते हैं. एंड जब वो जाते हैं वहां पे एंड उसके बाद दे फेस सर्टेन स्टिग्मास एंड दे बिल्ड सर्टेन स्टिग्मास अराउंड देयर ओन बॉडी इमेज. सो आई थिंक इससे मुझे एक चीज बस याद आई यहाँ पे निधि जी कि हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट इज पावर ऑफ वर्ड्स. यू नो, whatever you are speaking, how powerful and how impactful it can have, negative or positive both, on the person who is hearing it, right? And yourself also,
exactly,
I think.
exactly. The point is basically for you, it is a very impactful thing how you are repeating those statements for yourself, that is there. But the point is, once you are a parent, what happens now? You are not responsible for your own thing. You are also responsible for how you are, what do we say, impacting the other life, right? So for your child you are the role model, whatever you are, whosoever you are, till the time of they reaches to the teenage, because they are observing you, they are seeing your pattern, they are seeing how you are behaving. Are you happy with yourself, or you are always cribbing, you are having the idea that you are enough, or you are coming or speaking from a point of lack of something, right? So
Hmm.
on the same page they also starts having their own self assessment. How you are assessing yourself, depending upon those things, they are also starting seeing their own self-worth. This is a very very big thing, right? So once they start observing you, they will also create similar kind of patterns. But once they move out, like now they started going to school, maybe they are having a different sort of exposure. It could be positive, it could be negative, right?
Hmm.
Or similarly with you also, it could be positive, it could be negative. But the point is, by the time of they, they reaches to their teenage, or till the time they reaches to their adulthood, young adulthood, so then they start applying their reasoning. But at this particular tender age, they are just observing and following. I hope this makes sense to you. So
Yeah,
when it
basically
comes to peers, yeah. So your school, now your school, your playmates, your playground, and wherever you are going to interact with other people's, this is the area of comparison for the child, right? And in this area, the parents as well as the teachers also start implanting the seeds of comparison, how the other individual is performing. One thing is related to the performance, other thing is
yeah,
appearance also. They go to school and now they are coming back to you and they're demanding something. Ki, okay, this child was having this kind of, maybe a book or sharpener or a pencil box or something. Now I also want it. This is how the things starts happening in the school, no? Matlab, when they come back to home from school. So this
comparison
is
mode,
one way.
yes.
Exactly. This is one way. Now they are having this comparison thing. Ki, okay, ऐसा भी possible है, right? But apart from it, if the body image is a issue, so somebody who is having a better, what do we say, skin, matlab, better hair color, what they feel ki they should also have, like, some people are
True.
having brown eyes, some are having green eyes, gray eyes, etc. So this is something hereditary based, no? आपका बच्चा आके आपको घर पे आके बोलता है कि यार मुझे भी ग्रीन आइज चाहिए, व्हाई आई डोंट हैव ग्रीन आइज, कैन यू, व्हाट कैन यू डू अबाउट इट? आप उसको लेंसेज तो नहीं लगाओगे उस टाइम पे, यू विल गिव द सर्टेन जस्टिफिकेशन, नो, कि बेटा ऐसा ही होता है ड्यू टू हेरिडिटरी एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा, यू विल गिव योर ओन रीजनिंग. बट इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग दैट, मतलब यू नो इन द अदर एरियाज, लाइक बॉडी को लेकर के कोई इशू है, कलर को लेकर के कोई इशू है, एंड दे स्टार्ट टीजिंग यू अबाउट इट, कि आप तो काले हो, और आप बहुत मोटे हो, या फिर आप बहुत ही पतले हो, something like that. And then they comes back to you when they start saying those things ki, okay, this is how this is what is happening, etc., etc. How you are going to what do we say, matlab, resolve this is also a very tricky job. So
Actually,
if you are already having this kind of low self image by yourself, can you help your child in that area? No. It will add on to it, कि अच्छा मेरे साथ भी हुआ था, now my kid is also having this thing. मेक सेंस? तो वो 1 + 1 2 ही होगा, माइनस जब तक आप उसको रिज़ॉल्व करने के लिए नहीं सोचते, तब तक इट विल नॉट बी हैपनिंग, राइट?
yes,
So,
I think
community
Nidhi,
and
you
peers.
mentioned one term, foundation. If the foundation itself is not strong, it itself is having lot of cracks. How can you expect it to build something, strong and something which will be
There are
stable enough to?
chances there
Hmm.
are chances that kid can outgrow it, right? As I was telling, when they start giving their own reasoning to it, once they reach to their teenage, so then comes the age of reasoning. So during that particular point, maybe they will be able to outgrow this kind of thing during their adulthood also. But the point is, those scars will be there, and if certain issues are also triggering it, then it might open up and create problems later on. And apart from it, as you are also saying, asking about the media part, media again, cartoons we have, ads we have, influencers we have. Children see one kind of a ideal body over and over again, and they feel that
Yes,
this is the right way to have it. Otherwise, I am not going to fit into the society. Makes
exactly.
sense?
True.
So in
And
India, especially, the children often hear the comments about skin tone, which becomes a core part of their body image, and later on, come to the what do we say? It manifests into itself as an insecurity later on. So we need to address it from the very initial ages, if possible. or otherwise whatever age you have right now, you need to sort it out, because otherwise you will be carrying it forward,
And I think
right?
it will be passed on to next levels at every stage, because if foundationally, and I think we also might have came across the same things, because our society and our surroundings have always been attached too much to a certain level of body type and skin tone. You see these beauty lightening skin lightening cream ads. You see all these stuff where zero figure. I mean, it is something which is shown with lot of glory on big screen, and
Yeah,
a girl who is little bit chubby or something like that, she is put in some different kind of roles altogether. So unconsciously they are also trying to follow the set patterns, or the likability, increasing the likability of that movie or serial or whatever, channelizing everything in that particular medium itself. So I think social media is playing a fast level of that sort of role there itself. It has been playing it from ages.
I would like to highlight one study in both the areas. First one is it was like Davison and Burke ka study tha 2001 mein, because we are talking about it, and it has been like, it has been proven by so many researchers, but this particular study actually found that mothers' dieting behavior as well as comments strongly predict the body dissatisfaction in their daughters, because they are internalizing that how mother is treating their own body as well as their own personality, are they satisfied with it or not. So it is going to impact their own daughters a lot, right? And similarly, when we talk about the media exposure, so Monroe and Hyun, in 2005, they also studied that media actually contributes a lot to early internalization of the beauty ideals in children. So it is not about social media. It can be any type of media, whether you are using television, magazines. If you talk about magazines, in our days, I would say that monthly एक ना एक magazine तो घर में आती ही थी. My father used to have another magazine. My mother used to have another magazine. बच्चों के लिए अलग magazines आ रही है, right? So we used to
Yes.
have like the whole set of magazines as well as newspaper and so on. So we are reading, we are comparing things, and we are seeing ki, okay, this is what it is supposed to be, right? Especially in India, if you talk about. So in other countries it is also like that, but we are talking about in our own subcontinents, because in every state the atmosphere is different, the weather is different, the skin tone is different. Like if you see north versus south, if you see east versus west, you will see a lot of differences in the skin tone within the same country. You don't need to go outside, right? So the point is,
Yes.
this variation has to be accepted. It should not be discarded based upon ki, okay, you look a certain way. Make sense? So this kind
Yes.
of understanding has to be evolved within the children from the early stages, but it can only happen if the exposure of that particular child is a little bit more enhanced, and the parents as well as the area which they are interacting are also having the open mindedness regarding those kind of issues. Make sense?
Got it. Yes, yes. And as we, Nidhi, as we are deep diving in this today's episode, and we are talking about research. So, can you share any research findings that link body dissatisfaction with anxiety, depression, or eating disorder?
Exactly. So there are many studies, not only one, I would say. There are many studies, but a particular study, talks about that. Uh, this particular study was conducted in 2006 specifically, and they found that there is a direct link between adolescents' body dissatisfaction as well as later onset of depression, anxiety, and low self esteem. Even in my own experiences, when I used to discuss, I used to um, interact in certain workshops and seminars, as well as in my own practice, there were certain cases, like I cannot name all of them or I cannot highlight all the issues, but the gist of, initially when they were growing up, the parents and the grandparents, as well as the community, start comparing. I guess I highlighted this particular case in the previous session also. The two sisters were there, and they were compared a lot based upon their skin tone and their appearances, etc. They were very bright, right? Bright in the sense, mind wise, very intelligent girls, and very what do we say, high achiever in their academics, etc. But everything was going well. But the point is, the idea that the younger sister was having a little bit more, what do we say, brighter skin
Yes.
tone and a little different facial features. So in family, it was like she will going to get a better opportunities in life. She will going to get a better husband. She is going to get a better home. Right. So this particular comparison from the very young stage, this kind of situation created a kind of very difficult situation for the elder one. And now the elder one is gold medalist, and she has done wonderful in her career. She is a high achiever, and she did her own higher education in all those whatever field she was working. But the point is, she also developed the depression, as well as what do we say, this panic attacks in during the masters. And later on, when she came to me, and I had to refer her because the situation was a little bit more chronic. So she was also experiencing those kind of symptoms, because she felt that there is no hope for her, despite of being so many, having so many achievements. Just because this kind of comparison was already there in the mind, ki she is going to have a better life than me. And due to this particular fact, she was not having a kind of relationship which she wants to. Every relationship ended for her, because that kind of mindset was there, ki okay, I am not right, or maybe I'm not allowed to, or maybe I'm not the right individual for this man also. So now you can see that the self esteem as well as self worth is just below the average, just gadde mein hi chali gayi hai. So for her it was very very difficult to come out of this particular picture, क्योंकि वो deep down कहीं ना कहीं वो comparison इतना अच्छे से set हो गया है कि in future कहीं पे भी कोई comparison हो रहा है. So she is always feeling कि okay, I will not be able to get a better life.
Yeah, I don't deserve. Basically, there comes a time where you start feeling that you don't deserve a better life or a better partner just because of your certain body color or body type. Because our society has been driving on such factors for from ages. Changes are there, but it needs lot of change, lot of more change actually.
Exactly.
So,
And
so Nidhi ji,
another,
yeah.
yeah, please go ahead.
No, no, please go ahead.
Okay, so I was also trying to highlight one more point, that there was a, eating disorder. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. This is also coming into the picture because of the body related issues only. There is a journal of eating disorder. I'm forgetting the name of the journal, but in you know in those areas, it has shown that repeated appearance based criticism, it is basically increasing the risk of binge eating as well as restrictive dieting, right? And the study also shows that the media exposure to thin ideal images leads to higher body dissatisfaction, which in turns predicts the depression and eating disorders. And eating disorders these days are actually you know um, happening a lot. They are increasing in our country. And once you internalize these societal beauty standards, no, then there are chances that you will be showing the symptoms of the eating disorders, and we are not realizing it कि this is happening. So mind and body cannot cannot be separated. I'm sure that we all are understanding this fact. Sound mind is very very important to having a sound body. So if you are rejecting your body at every mental dialogue, how your body is going to respond to that? You have to appreciate what you have. You have to appreciate what you what kind of
Yes.
build, what kind of body you are having. So when you attack your body with your this kind of comments, this kind of mental dialogue again and again, so your health pays a price a lot, either physical health or the mental health, both. So this mental dialogue has to be improved.
Okay. So, if we keep on, if we keep on long term, we are not improving our mental health, and this mental dialogue is deteriorating, or it is resulting into anxiety, depression, or a number of other factors, or the way we like to channelize or regularize our unhealthy emotions. I would say that somewhere down the line they develop in unhealthy emotions towards oneself itself, and then we find measures and some ways to channelize it. So if I
Mhm.
ask from a therapeutic lens, how can
Hmm.
individuals begin to heal from the long term effects of body shaming?
This is a long journey, as we have already understood that this particular issue starts happening from the very early stages if it is happening for a long term. And other than that, in all those areas where body shaming has been seen as critical to impact your mental health as well as your physical health, in those areas we have found that somewhere or the other your self image as well as your self esteem, both are very very low in some way or the other. The reason might be different, or the reason might be um, a number of things could be there, but the point is now you are experiencing it because of the low self esteem. So first of all, you need to start with acceptance. And acceptance is basically, it is going to take a lot of time. It is not something, healing doesn't happen like suddenly you starts loving your body,
Hmm.
right? So the first step would be accepting your thing, accepting that this is you. You want to improve it, you want to work upon it, that is there, it could be your goal. But the point is, this is you right now, and you are enough whatever you are right now. You can work upon it, you can improve it, you can if it is related to body weight thing, you can improve it. But other than that, if it is related to your height, your skin tone, etc., etc., you need to understand that this is how you are, and there is nothing wrong with it. You are you for a particular reason, right? And if I talk about a little bit more systematic steps, the first one is naming the source of the shame. This is the first thing which you need to understand and identify. If you are not feeling comfortable with yourself, maybe because of your height, I'll just take the example here. Why? What is the source of the shame? Why you are feeling shameful about this particular height of yours? Right? So you need to understand and you need to name it. Make sense? It takes a little bit time. So first you have to name it, and then you have to say and repeat it again whenever this kind of mental dialogue starts, that this voice is not yours. It came from the comment, maybe by your grandfather, grandmother, maybe your uncle, when when you were of maybe 8 year of age, or maybe you are 12 year or 12-year old. Make sense? So you need to identify those points, and it takes a little bit time to improve it. Other than that, once you understood this point, key, you have named it, then you need to challenge it. Make sense? And
Hmm.
so on. Then you need to reconnect with your body through gentle movements, maybe through mindfulness, through yoga, right? And then one of the most important thing is practicing self compassion, treating yourself as kindly as you would be treating to somebody else, your friend, maybe your own child, your mother, your father. So you have to show the same compassion to yourself. Make sense? So this
Yes,
is
yes.
very very important thing to understand.
I think I'm sure for each. See, psychological disorders are also disorders, and like we have general physician for all sort of treatments. If we have cold and cough, we got fever, so we go to a general physician that we need a treatment. If it is not being curable in 1 or 2 days, we go for an antibiotic treatments, right? So I'm sure there might be some techniques or some therapeutic techniques around the same for psychological disorders as well. Like,
Ex-
if I would like to understand what are some effective counseling or therapeutic techniques, like for example CBT, mindfulness, or body neutrality, that can help rebuild one's body image.
Exactly. So I'm sure, you have the idea that these therapies already existing, and these works, very, very, what do we say? Um they are very beneficial in these areas of issues, especially body shaming and the kind of low self esteem and low ideology about yourself, right? In these areas your mindfulness works very wonderfully, as well as the CBT. This is something which is proven by so many researchers. Your CBT, your mindfulness, and body neutrality. These are the things which a psychologist or a therapist can actually, use as evidence-based approaches. Right. And in this area, one more therapy which we usually apply with the, clients, that is mirror exposure therapy. So in mirror
Okay.
exposure therapy, basically, we are trying to introduce the concept that try to look to yourself with a curiosity rather than, criticism.
Yeah.
Because whenever we are seeing in this, ourself in a mirror or, anywhere, whenever we are seeing our reflection, like photos नहीं खिंचवाते लोग, photos post नहीं कर रहे हैं because of their own, physique कि
Hmm.
okay, people will not like it or something like that. People are liking you for you, not because of you are having the certain body type. That is how it's supposed to be. And if you are accepting yourself, who are you, right? Then what other individuals are thinking, that is again a secondary thought. So mirror exposure therapy is also very important here, and apart from it, narrative therapy can also work. Basically, the kind of narration which you are having from a very longer period of the time, which is creating a low self worth in you. So, separating yourself from the story which has been created by others rather than you need to create your own story. Okay, this is me, this is how I am, and you know, so on, depending upon clients again. So
True.
these simple practices like wearing your comfortable clothes, unfollowing the triggering social media accounts also, they can also play a huge role in this area of self healing process.
I think because continuously they are pushing a certain way of looking, certain way of behaving, talking, walking, even. So it's a very good point that if something is triggering you, your self healing is your major responsibility. Apart from the support which you will be getting, but accepting it and acknowledging it, and taking some steps, some healing steps for yourself also, that will change the internal dialogue, right? So how can we as a community, like we are, see, human, we are social beings, right? And as a social being we have some sort of responsibility. Either we take it or not take it, we have certain amount of responsibility for this society and for this world. So how can we as a community create safer spaces, both online and offline, to reduce this body shaming and promote body acceptance?
Okay. Uh, in this area, apart from acceptance, I would like to highlight the word of inclusion. Like right now, we have understood this particular fact that we are living with so many variations, individual differences, people with different capabilities and differences, right? So we need to accommodate a holistic environment in this area. How we can do that, how we can create it, we can responsibly and mindfully using these social media platforms rather than just posting anything mindlessly. This is a very
Hmm.
important responsibility upon all of us. Like right now, with the help of YouTube, we are talking about such an important topic so
Yes.
that individuals can understand कि it is not necessary they need to look in a support, in a given manner. If they are having this kind of right physical standard prescribed by the society, that's very good. But the point is, then there will be no individual difference. No, you are unique. Whatever capabilities, appearances, physical gestures, or physical appearances you are having, you are unique because of those things. You need to improve upon your health. It is not like you should avoid your health because of, in the name of, what do we say, demanding that you should not body shame me and etc, etc. No, we are not saying that. We are not, again, I'm highlighting this point, we are not saying that you should not work upon your health. You need to work upon your health, but the point is you need to make other individual to be a little bit more shameful about it, because you are not looking like that in a given manner. So, creating safe space is a social responsibility, so
Hmm.
that we understand this concept that respecting all body requires a collective effort. It is not individual effort, right? It is a collective effort, and as a community, as a society, we need to understand that. How can we do it? Right? So instead of, if we want to compliment someone, so instead of saying that you are looking thin today, you are looking so pretty today, you can say that you are looking so happy instead. You can say that,
Yes.
you are looking so vibrant with, and you are vibrating with energy today, and so on. So challenge the harmless jokes about the body shape or the color, right? Promoting diverse body types in schools, like accepting them as they are rather than just uh, preferring that, okay, this is the only body type we need here. Makes sense. Like we are including special children's also in the name of inclusion, right? We are also
Yes.
trying to include different, what do we say, uh, like different financial backgrounds also. We are keeping certain quotas in schools, like so that they can have a better education, in similar education of all the financial, despite of all the financial differences and so on. Parents can also avoid using the labels like, what do we say, Motu, Golu, like these are the cute names, no? So if the child is okay with it, if the child is fine with it, then it's fine. But always creating and using those kind of name again and again, like there used to be a earlier name, I don't know how, or whether these people use it, Kalu, right? Kalu
Hmm.
was used to be a like a pet name for the children. But
Yes.
nowadays, I don't see that people are using it, because now they are understanding it can also create, kind of feeling which
Yeah.
stays on and lingers on. And apart from that, chubby child and, such kind of labels, instead of using that, you can pick another one, right? Which is not including their body appearances. Apart from it, workplace can also address the appearance based discrimination, or, color based comments, or race based comments, and so on,
Which is
right?
actually very degrading part of the society, if I would say, Nidhi. See, I always believe and say that there is a huge difference between being educated and being literate. Okay, education can come by your degrees, your studying and taking degrees, but being literate comes how you process that education which you have earned. And if you don't know it, so there will be some sort of disbalance in the society which we can foresee now.
I can
So,
understand what you are saying here, Vartika, but the point is somewhere, the individuals who are using these kind of terms, no, in senselessly, or using it as joke, they are not even understanding कि it is impacting the other one.
hmm,
Right. So if we are using these kind of statement in the name of joke or something, like I have seen my friends, I have seen, like, people around me, they came from a very different understanding and the social perspective, right? As well as the different cultural setup. So for them, using these words it's like very common language. Like boys can use a different kind of language, girls can use a different kind of language, commenting, complimenting, all those things, the way they interact is very, very different. But the point is, if you follow the path of kindness and a little bit compassion towards the other individual or other human being, it
Yes.
might impact what he or she be feeling about it. So then also it can improve a lot. The picture can improve a lot. And apart from it, if you are feeling uncomfortable, you have to state it. You have to speak about it. Otherwise, the individual who is interacting with you, they will not be able to understand ki, okay, it is whether it is hurting you or not. For them, it is like, their natural thing. It's okay with them. But if it is making you uncomfortable, you have to speak about it. You have to say it. Ki, okay, I am not comfortable with this kind of remarks. I am not feeling, okay with when you are using these kind of terms again and again. Like, brother and sisters, they are also using this kind of remarks a lot. So till that age they are staying together, etc. वो लड़ भी लेंगे, एक दूसरे को पीट भी देंगे, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. But for them it is okay. But अगर वही same kind of remark उसका कोई friend, उसकी कोई मतलब colleague, etc., they start using it. So for then it is not okay with you, right? So you have to state it. You have to talk about it. Ki, okay, now I am not in my comfort zone, and this is something which is not applicable with me anymore. So
Thank you,
instead of
Nidhi.
just perceiving it, you have to speak it.
And if I would ask you, Nidhi, because today we had a very deep diving around this subject and all the sort of research-based therapeutic, discussions we had. So, if you could leave our viewers with one key takeaway about self-worth beyond appearance, what would it be?
Okay. Um, Around this topic, this single statement is a little bit challenging, but I would like to highlight that um, you need to again accept yourself. Your body is not your only identity. Your appearance is not your value basically. The word, if it taught you to shrink, criticize, and compare, but none of the voices when they started, it was not your voices. And these voices are not something which can define you. You are the one, you are capable, you have the what do we say, capacity to define yourself in your own terms.
Or
How?
redefine?
Yes, redefine. What do we say? Matlab, the point is, if you are accepting those definition given by others to you, then it will be, the first definition. But the point is, you have to create your own definition by yourself. So if you use redefining, if you use defining, whatever it is, but ultimate power is with you, that you can write or change the narrative which has been given to you earlier. Make sense?
True.
So don't lose
Yes.
hope. Don't take their words as the gospel truth. Make sense? So this is your story. Write it with your own compassion, with your own identity, and with your own values also. Don't hurt others. So that is something which you can take care of your in mind. Apart from it, compassion and kindness is something which all of us need to understand, because everybody has have a different story, and you don't know their story. So don't hurt the areas where you don't know how much water is deep there.
Uh,
So
Very effective and powerful message, Nidhi. And I really resonate with this one line you said, ki you don't know how deep is the water where you're throwing your stone. So just don't uh, don't even unknowingly or unconsciously don't try to trigger somebody, and be mindful. I think being mindful does not just make you progress in your career or in your life journey for certain aspects. It should be at a human level as well. I would say if you are progressing, if you are growing, you should grow as a human as well. And definitely, by default, being a human, human value should be there. But unfortunately, these days, human value is something which we have to teach, which we have to speak about. Be compassionate, be kind. That should be something very, very organic narrative for human, but it's not happening. So
But the point is, what is happening? No, because now we are a global village. We are coming from different walks of life. So for some area, it is a little bit different. For our areas, a little bit different, and etc. And if you can recall that at our time, as you are saying that this is the time where we have to teach the human value, and this is a good thing actually. It is a progress. Earlier, people used to suffer because of it a lot. Our previous
hmm.
generation and the generation previous to them, they were not even having, they were on the survival mode. They have to provide to their family, they have to jot down things. And the previous generation to us, they were also trying to make us make the life a little bit more comfortable. But now we are fortunate because of their efforts. We have the time as well as the luxury to understand, to feel, and to make it a little bit better on the emotional level as well as the personal level. So now we can focus upon ourselves. Now we can heal the previous trauma. We can heal the child trauma. We can heal the past experiences which your generation, previous generation might be experiencing from a long time. Makes sense. So for them, it was just a survival mode, but for us, it is a little bit.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi, for sharing such valuable insights and compassionate guidance. To everyone watching, remember, your body is not a measure of your worth. Healing begins when we choose kindness towards ourselves. If this conversation resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Live Your Dreams for more inspiring conversations that nurture the mind, body, and soul. Sayonara until we meet and talk again. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everyone.